and rephrase a question a different way. Yep. In this class, is the average height of guys larger than the average height of girls in this class? In this class. All right. So let's see. Is the average height of males? Just take this all the way out. Can't really doctor it all that well. In this class, greater than the average height of females. Now, of course, we're being fictitious in both of these tests. Because technically speaking, I'm actually asking everybody in the class what their heights are, which means I'm not really getting X bars. What am I essentially getting? That. Well, yes, what kind of data? Sample data, or what am I actually getting? I'm getting a parameter, technically speaking. I mean, some of the class isn't here, so I'm not getting every single person in the class. So technically we can cheat and call it a sample because I'm not getting everybody, but it's horribly convenient sampling. But if everybody was in the class and I asked everybody what their heights were and then I averaged those, there'd be no need to do a statistics test. You see what I'm getting at here? There'd be no need to do a test because you'd actually have all the data, which doesn't happen in the world very often. Very rarely do you actually get all the data. You get a sample of your data. We've talked about this many, many times. So this wouldn't actually be statistics, it'd be a census, which eradicates, there's no need for a margin of error when you have, there's no error. When you have all your data, it's all there. There's nothing to be error about. But let's pretend it's a sample, because some people aren't here. So that makes it easy to pretend it's a sample, yes? Yes, okay, good. So now this goes back to Rosie's question about when you run this test, is it going to be sample or data or statistics? Well, I'm not going to average all. I'm going to have you guys tell me your results and slap them in the lists. But let's define the averages. Who's mu1? Guys or girls? Guys it is. Silence equals Sean flips a coin in his head. So mu1's going to be guys' heights, guys' average height, and then mu2 is going to be the gals' average heights. Yeah, that's really too high. That's a nice thick warm jacket and a hoodie. My God, I pass out just looking at you. You look warm and happy.
Yeah, I feel like hell when we take it off when I get home. Still get a shower if you
just melt into it.
Yeah.
Let's collect some data. Let's collect some data. Well, actually, let's take the hypotheses first. Let's take the hypotheses. Give me one of them. I keep calling it H1. HA, H1, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Give me a hypothesis. Rosie, go!
The null would be the guys are taller than girls.
The null or the research?
The null, right?
The research.
The research.
If you're trying to see if the guys are taller than the girls, that's what you're researching.
But in that, like you just said, that's the common thought is that guys are taller than
No, 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 no. The claim that you're testing goes in the that's what you're researching. What the common thought is, why should we believe anything's different between guys and girls? No, what you're saying is, I read on this website that guys on average are taller than girls. Let's see if that holds in this class. So that holding would be testing the claim. I see what you're saying.
I would think that would be the null.
I see what you're saying. The null has equality. The null says there is no difference. I see what you're saying, Rosie. It's a good point, and I apologize for that. Because I said I read on the U.S. whatever Health and Human Services website that guys are taller than girls. But since I'm trying to test that claim in this class, you put what you're testing down here. I see what you. Thank you for that. That's a good point.
I would just think that I would be
No,
testing
that's a good point. Yeah.
that.
I went Minnesota on you that for a second. I
Because
apologize.
to me, honestly, that is the opposite. Like we would be trying
Sure.
to either our test would come
Well,
out that
you know
that's
what?
true because of
You know what? We can test it a different way if you want. We can say what's the opposite of greater than less than, and then technically speaking, the U.S. whatever Health and Human Services would be up here in the research. You get the exact same result each way, so you can put it up top and test it that way. You get the same exact result. But the reason I'm putting it this way is this keeps more in line with everything we've done in here so far. Because you would think about it this way. I wouldn't have put the bit on your exam about, hey, I read that, blah, blah, blah. I would just say, are guys taller than females? And then you would have no doubt in your mind, you'd put it right here. You would have no doubt in your mind, because I would preface it verbally with, I keep reading all these places that guys are taller than girls. You wouldn't hear that. I would just say, here are the data.
Okay.
Do the guys appear to be taller than the girls? And you would know what the claim was. Thanks, that's a good point though. That's a good point. Trying to replicate a study. And this has more overriding, far-reaching implications than the discussion we're having right now. When you replicate a study, or try to see if you can replicate a study, this is one of those things we've been talking about for weeks. When we say, you know, what if your p-value is really close to 5%? Go get more data. So essentially what you're doing is doing a study again. Now the previous study is already hinting at something. When you run the next study, you're going to be trying to hint at the exact same thing, which means you test their research hypothesis again. It doesn't become the null, it's the research. So this is actually pretty far-reaching. Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, be careful about what I say about that. Oh, I always keep reading. Boom, that sounds like a null hypothesis, doesn't it? Sounds like a null. So, let's collect some data. We'll throw our TIs over here, yes?
Shut her down.